Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and in today's video I'm going to be making this body stocking. So one of my biggest goals for this year is to start creating my own clothing and just getting better at sewing in general. So I thought a fun project would be to start building up a wardrobe that is completely designed and made by me. I think it's really important to think about where we shop and what products we purchase. So I'm challenging myself this year to make as much of my own clothing as possible, and if I have to buy anything new, then have it be secondhand. And this video is going to be the first in a series where I do thrift flips and just sewing in general. So I hope that you guys will enjoy this type of content, and let's just get started. So the first thing you're going to need is of course some stretchy fabric. Mine is a ribbed jersey, which is about 70 centimeters wide, but circular, so I can actually just slip it over my head and it fits pretty snugly. To measure the length, I grabbed one of my favorite tank tops and a pair of underwear to trace the bottom portion. I wanted the leg hole pretty high, so I elongated the gap a bit. I used a white colored pencil to trace the body stocking and included some seam allowance both at the top and the bottom. I continued my lines to the other side of the suit where I made the back a lot slimmer. I don't want the panty lines showing through whatever I wear over it. I cut off all the excess fabric, leaving a little extra length in the crotch so I can make an overlapping closure. Finally, I cut out the leg holes following the white lines that I traced, but actually leaving even more seam allowance than I had drawn in. Now it should look something like this. Okay, so I had no idea how you're supposed to sew in stretchy fabric, which will become very apparent in a minute. But anyways, I started by folding the edges twice and pinning everything down, completely enclosing the raw edges. I think to sew properly in this type of stretchy fabric, you need to use a zigzag stitch. If any of you are experts on how to sew in knit jersey fabric, let me know in the comment section. Because this fabric is pretty thick, my hemline ended up being a little bit bulky as well, but I don't really mind. As soon as I put it on, the fabric stretches enough to make it lay nice and flat anyways. I use the same hemming technique around the leg holes, just rolling the fabric so the seams are as tight and thin as possible while still hiding the raw edge. Now for the closure at the bottom. I found these black snap buttons, which I thought would be perfect. They should be pretty small because it can get bulky quite quickly. I hand sewed them on one at a time to opposite sides of the closure point. You can definitely get by with 2, but I put in 3 just to make sure everything was sturdy. The last thing you need is the straps, and I made these from the piece I cut off at the bottom at the start of the video. I start by opening up the circle so I have a long rectangle and then measuring the appropriate length I want the straps to be. This is different for everyone, but I'll measure them again later on my body to get the correct length. I think I started with 50 centimeters, which was way too long. Then I cut straight down the middle to make 2 separate strips. And I'm super lazy, so I just kind of wing it, but also anything that's too uneven will disappear once I stitch the straps right sides together like this, creating a tube. This way there are no raw edges and I can flip the whole thing inside out and have a clean strap like this. I wanted them to be a little bit wide, so this is perfect. To get the length right for the straps, I start by pinning them down where I think they should go and trying it on. Then I can readjust the length and placement of the straps. I run over each one with a straight stitch a couple of times and try it on one more time before cutting off the excess fabric. After cutting off the rest, I hand stitch the raw edges down in a way that can't be seen from the front. And now my body stocking is finished. It's a super simple garment and I really love how it looks over a t-shirt or dress shirt or just by itself. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or ideas, feel free to leave them down below. And otherwise, I'll see you in my next video.